everybody, it's Miss Chloe from Naples Regional Library. Welcome to Collier Kids Read, where we read you stories every weekday at 10 a.m. Today I have some books about baking. The first book I'm going to read is called Monster Chefs by Brian and Liam Anderson. Okay. Chefs! The Monster King bellowed for his chefs. The king happened to be a horribly horrible monster, which made him an excellent king. The four monsters trembled. The king had never summoned them before. I am tired of eating only eyeballs and ketchup, roared the king. Find me something new to eat, or you will find yourselves on my menu. Fur flew and hats fell. You see, monsters, as far back as any monster could remember, only ever ate eyeballs and ketchup. The chefs trudged away from the castle in different directions. The first chef blundered north through prickly forests and rolling mountains until there was only snow and ice as far as a monster could see, which is quite far indeed. I have traveled as far as I can go, he wailed, and I have not found one new thing for my king to eat. The chef slogged back towards the castle, his tentacled head slumped low. Just then, he glimpsed a tiny, furry creature hopping through the snow. He snatched it up and sniffed it with his shriveled snout. You will make a tasty dish for my king, said the monster, smiling a tooth-filled monster smile. Obviously, your king has never eaten rabbit before, said the rabbit. The monster shook his tentacled head. No, he only eats eyeballs and ketchup. Well, said the rabbit, looking as serious as a rabbit could, your king will be awfully upset with you if you serve me up for dinner. Why? Asked the monster. Look around you, said the rabbit. The monster did look around and saw more rabbits than a monster could count, springing through the deep snow. If you eat a rabbit, you turn into a rabbit. That is why there are so many of us. Horrified, the chef dropped the rabbit. Then I have no choice but to return to the castle and be prepped and stewed for my king's dinner, said the chef as he lumbered back the way he came, sad and scared. The second monster chef stomped off southward till her claw-tipped foot touched the ocean. She saw water as far as a monster could see, and that, as you know, is far indeed. I have walked as far as I can walk, and have found not a single thing for my king to eat, she said. As she watched her tears fall into the ocean, something scaly swam up between her mossy toes. She scooped it up. Looks like a fish. I'm so happy to have caught you, she said. My king will find you scrumptious. That means very delicious. Now the fish was from a school, so it was quite smart. Your king will be cross with you if you serve me for his supper, it said. And why is that? Asked the monster. Everyone knows that if you eat a fish, you turn into one, said the fish. That is why the ocean is crammed full of fish. So the chef dropped the fish back into the ocean and shuffled back the way she came. Now the third monster chef skittered into the west, over cloud-topped mountains and carved valleys, until he came to a sandy place where the sand spread out as far as a monster could see, and that is far indeed. I have failed to find a new delectable delight for my king to eat, said the chef, and as he slunk back to the east, something slithered between his crabby legs. Oh, glorious day, cried the monster chef. My king will find you exceptionally succulent. That also means very delicious. Obviously, your king has never eaten a snake before, said the snake, coiling about the monster's claw. What do you mean by that? He asked. Look around you, said the snake. When you eat a snake, you turn into sand. The monster gazed around the shimmering sand. That would make my king very angry, he said. He loathed sand. Thank you for saving my king, but now I must return home so I can be served up for his dinner. He placed the snake down on the sand and slunk off toward the castle. The three monster chefs huddled together in the king's court awaiting their punishment. The king, spit seething from his massive mouth, glared down at them. "Not one of you has found something new and tasty for me to eat," roared the king, spattering the chefs with globs of green drool. "I shall now eat all 3 of you." The king paused, raising his single hedge-sized eyebrow. "I thought there were 4 of you. I see only 3 there." As the king proceeded to count the chefs with his taloned fingers, the 4th chef bounded into the court. "And I suppose you have also failed to bring something savory to eat," said the king. "Please slather yourselves in ketchup, as I am outrageously hungry and wish to devour the 4 of you right now." "Wait, your hideousness," said the 4th chef. "I did find something new for you to eat." The king squinted his one eye at the chef. "Show it to me." The 4th monster chef gingerly lifted his chef's hat. The others gasped at what stood atop the chef's furry head. "Well, that looks awful," said the king. "It is too small, too scrawny, and smells of soap." The other 3 monsters sighed and resumed pouring ketchup over their heads. What do you think's on his head? Then the thing on top of the 4th monster chef's head spoke. "I'd much rather smell like soap than a moldy, fly-infested garbage dump. Thank you very much." The Monster King loomed over the tiny thing. "I shall eat you anyway just for being so rude." "Oh, she's not for eating," said the 4th chef. "She is a chef." "A pastry chef," said the young woman, smiling proudly up at the king of monsters. The pastry chef produced a tiny cardboard box from her jacket. She untied the red string. Standing on tiptoes, she held the contents of the box up to the Monster King. The king carefully took it between the tips of his talons. He sniffed it, and he licked it, and he growled at it, and finally, the king popped it into his mouth and did something no monster had ever done. He danced, he sang, he roared with delight, and from that day onward, monsters throughout the world only feasted on cupcakes. Yum. Cupcakes decorated with eyeballs, of course. That was a good book. I like that one. It even has a recipe in the back for eyeball cupcakes, and it says, "Warning, do not track down a monster on your own and ask for an eyeball. This is horribly dangerous. Instead, ask a grown-up to help you follow the recipe on this page." I think we'll skip that part. Okay, good job, everybody. Let's do one of our finger plays that we do in story time. Let's count our fingers. How many fingers do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 little fingers, and they all belong to me. I can make them do things would you like to see. I can shut them up tight, and I can open them wide. I can put them together, and I can make them hide. Everybody hide your hands. I can put them up high, and I can put them down low, and I can fold them together just so. Good job, everybody. Let's do that again. How many fingers do we have? I have 10 little fingers, and they all belong to me. I can make them do things would you like to see. I can shut them up tight, and I can open them wide. I can put them together, and I can make them hide. Hide your hands. I can put them up high, and I can put them down low, and I can fold them together just so. Good job, everybody. Okay, let's read another book. This one's called How to Bake a Book by Ella Burfoot. Okay. I am going to bake a book. I'll break some ideas into a cup. I'll beat them, whisk them, mix them up. I'll weigh out the words just enough. Choosing the right ones can be tough. The small ones go into the pot. He, she, it, when, and what. And I'll drop some big words from way up, like elephant and crocodile and buttercup. Now that my story has begun, I'll cut out characters one by one. Look, she's got her elephant. Feelings, colors, sounds, a picture, all add flavor to my mixture. She's got giggly word jelly and loud, noisy words and even some sad words in her mixture. I'll add a watery word or two. I'll pour them in and stir them through. Splish, splash, splash, drip or sprinkle. Glug and gurgle, squelch and twinkle. Now I'll put a lid on it. Wait a while. Let it sit. We have to be patient. It's not until I roll it out that I'll find out what it's all about. And now I'll lay it in the tin so my characters can all jump in. Next, the middle, the action, the filling into the pan without any spilling. Now all I'll do is simply add a spoonful of good and a pinch of bad. Turn up the heat, the bubbles quicken, and then my plot begins to thicken. Look, she's got a witch for her little pinch of bad. Each sentence will taste much better if I add periods and capital letters. I'll find them in a moment. I've seen them myself. Here they are. Big cupboard, top shelf, way up here. Periods and capital letters right next to the dried princess peas. Finally, the ending. I'll press it down and add decorations all around. I will glaze it with happiness, leave it to cook, then bake it, brown it, and finish my book. I turn the pages and I can see that my recipe has turned out tasty. I've done everything as the cook to make my story a delicious book. The end. Good job, everybody. Those were good books. My favorite is probably Monster Chef, but if you guys had a favorite, maybe tell me in the comments below this video. I want to know what your favorite was. Now, I do have a craft today. We're going to make eyeball cupcakes. So all you need is a piece of paper that you're going to cut into maybe a trapezoid where the two lines are not straight. And you can cut a paper plate in half, and all you're going to do is tape them together. And then you can draw eyeballs, or if you have googly eyes or eyeball stickers, maybe you'll make a cupcake that looks like this for those monster chefs to make. All right, make sure you join us for Collier Kids Read every weekday at 10 a.m. We love reading stories to you. Remember to comment below on your favorite book or send us pictures of your craft. And if you want to check out any other kids' books that have to do with baking, look on collierlibrary.org, maybe on Cloud Library, Hoopla, Overdrive, one of our e-resources. So we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.